You want to do a finger?
You got it. As always, guys, like and share the video for us. It helps us out a bunch. And while you're at it, yes, tremendously. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button or the like button on the page, wherever it might be. I'm not so good at telling you where these buttons are, but you know.
It's on there. Everybody knows how to work it. I'm sure you're all smarter than we are, probably. So,
yeah, so we appreciate it. All right, guys, so we like to train for real life scenarios. So what we have here is a real life scenario that happened, and we're going to kind of break it apart, detail it, and see if we can get the problem figured out and a good solution. So stay tuned and we'll get some training done. Okay, so what happened?
Yeah, so go figure, it's me who had the real life scenario, and we've been doing this for what, like on and off 2.5 months or so now.
Yep.
I'll have to say I probably wouldn't have been as confident 2.5 months ago.
Yeah.
So I've actually had some problems medically with my jaw, so I take my medication. I am out for the count. I have ADT home alarm system. I do recommend it if you don't have it. It starts going off, and I'm so out of it I don't even understand what's happening, and all of a sudden I hear this voice coming out of the ADT thing, and she's saying, you know, are you okay, you know, do we need to call the cops? And I go over to the panel and I'm like, I'm confused, what's happening? I know that sounds funny, but I really had a lot of medication for my jaw. And she goes, ma'am, your window is open, and there's an ADT app on your phone that you can get into, and of course I sleep by my gun. So I grab my gun first, and I look in the app as I'm kind of looking around, and I see that the master bedroom window is open. The only reason why I'm not sleeping in there is because my house is under construction, so I was lucky to be sleeping on the couch. But it was definitely open. It showed that it was opened up at like 10:53 p.m. So I'm actually shocked they did it because the living room TV was still on. It was actually the only thing still on, but it was on. I went through the kitchen in the dark because I know the layout of my house very well. There's enough lighting coming in. So I kind of obviously scoped around with the gun ready. I probably shouldn't have done it, but I want to make sure they're not coming at me. They never made it in the house. Luckily, the alarm must have scared them off. By the time I got in the room, the window was open about 3 inches and they had ran away. But I did go outside. Whether that's really something smart to do or not, I don't know. But I wanted to do it because I'm crazy, so I went out there and I did see pry marks where it looked like they were popping up the screen. So, and it must have slid back down when they ran away. And I have a friend that's staying with me, and I gave a friend another pistol, and we just made sure everything was okay. But the moral of that is, ADT calls the police immediately. They didn't show up for at least 40 minutes. So that is where I think having a gun is probably a little handy, because if I didn't have ADT, they would have made it in. I do have a dog that eventually would have woke up and let me know. He's pretty good about that. But at that point, they would have been in the house. And, you know, even if I'd called the cops and put my phone down or whatever, I mean, 40 minutes is a terrible response time. Yeah. And I don't live in the city. I live just out in the country with a couple acres, so yeah, I mean, I guess it can happen anywhere.
Right, so yeah. I guess, you know, couple things. We talk a bunch about de-escalation, different tools, right?
Yeah.
So really, you've got multiple tools, right? Yeah. ADT being the first one.
Yeah.
And the whole thing really kind of, it worked out for the best because the dude decided that, wait, this person's got an alarm. I'm gonna, you know, find business in another county somewhere or whatever.
Yeah.
But as far as your response, that's what we're gonna work on tonight.
Yeah.
Right? So
the response might have been better if I wasn't medicated. You got to give me
yes,
that.
Right?
My jaw was out here on Monday.
Which plays into another thing is, you know, so many people talk about this situational awareness. I can't talk tonight. Things like that, but in reality, we're still all human, right? We have to take medicine,
we
Yeah.
get sick, we have to go to the bathroom, we have to get in the shower.
Yeah.
Things like
Now
that.
I need a shower gun.
Yeah. Now we need a shower gun.
We all heard that one.
Yeah, right. I haven't found a good waterproof container
Right.
yet. Anyway, so things happen, and criminals, they know this, right? So they plan those particular times and instances for when we are
Right.
the most unaware. And 10, 11 o'clock at night is a great time, right? Because they're getting ready to go to bed or just gone to bed. They're not really thinking that other people may be up in the house, so there's noise. It's a good time, and that's when they plan that. But
Right.
the response, we're gonna actually work on some stuff. We're gonna do it two ways. We're gonna do it here in the daylight. We've got the room kind of mocked up behind us, right, with some crappy plywood barriers, so that way if we shoot them, and we're probably gonna shoot holes in them, which is okay.
Right.
We're gonna work on the response where we don't have a choice, or we need to confront that particular individual because we don't have an escape plan, or we don't have a tactical retreat plan. And then we're going to work on a tactical retreat plan, like what's going to be best, and maybe talk out loud a little bit about what you can see, what you can't see. And then if we get time, we're going to take it to the indoor range, and we're going to shut the lights off and see how that changes everything. So,
With no windows in there. I had at least had some lighting from the
Some-
windows, even
some
though it was
lighting,
dark. You
right.
get the street lights a little bit.
so we're gonna, if we get time, we're gonna go in and do that. But
Right.
at the moment, we're gonna hit this pretty
Yeah.
hard, and we're gonna start with, all right. So obviously we got the room set up, we got a target set up, so we're gonna start with, hey, we have to do something
Right.
because this particular person is getting in the window, and the cops are 45 minutes away, and it goes to show you that the absolute
Yeah,
minute that you need the
response
police,
time.
they are 45 minutes away.
Even though the sheriff's station's like 10.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, oh, thanks, guys.
Probably across the county dealing with some other.
Yeah, everything's a mess right now. So
Messed
I
up
know,
person.
I wouldn't want to be a cop right now. They have it hard. So
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we're gonna hit it. Let's do
All
it. Okay, so we did work on barriers a little bit, right?
yeah,
We're not gonna be drawn from the holster tonight because it's home, right?
right. It's not in the holster.
you know,
It's on the coffee table. I'm sleeping next to it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have fallen asleep on the couch with my gun in my holster. I wouldn't recommend it. It kind of causes back
But
problems.
don't.
But so we started to go through barriers a little bit a while back, and we didn't put that video out because we didn't really
Right.
explain what everybody was doing. So I think we're going to go through it again. Remember anything from the barriers, the angles, right?
Yeah, and so I remember we were kind of back here, and it was supposed to be kind of like, you didn't want to really get too much out there.
Yeah, you don't want to you want to expose as little of you as possible, and expose as much of the target as possible, right? And that really depends upon your distance from this barrier. What we didn't go through is compounding angles, right? Because as you compound the angle, it gets harder to figure it, right? And where I got the camera set up, like they can see right through and they can see our target, right?
Right.
But if we move over here, like I can't see my target, and I have a really bad situation. If I'm gonna approach this, right, I'm gonna come through this door, like I got nowhere to go. I'm in the choke point, so we don't want
Right.
to be here, right? Because if our nefarious target has got ill intentions and he's got some
Right.
type of other projectile device, he's got a gun, knife, whatever, then he can see us as much as we can see him. So we've got two options, and it's going to depend upon which angle we approach from, right?
Right.
So if I'm approaching from this angle, now we can see our angles are going to compound, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to expose myself. I don't really know if he's in the room yet. So what I want to do is I want to come in here and I want to get that big lean, right?
Right.
All the way over, and I can't see him, right?
That's actually kind of where I was at, because I'm like, okay, I wanted to get because I'm in the other room, and I come up, and I kind of had it like this, just ready.
Yeah, like in a low ready position.
Yeah, and I did a little, okay, it's good, it's weird because my room is a complete mess because of the construction going on back there, but I know where all the mess is, and there's nowhere to hide, so,
Yeah.
so looking, and then of course the door swings open this way. So
Yeah.
my next place I looked was behind the door.
Right.
And then there is another room right next to that. It's a utility room.
Yeah.
So that was like my next place I went because it's really the only place to hide.
Sure.
So, and that was the part that scared me because I'm like, oh man, it's darker in here.
Right.
So.
Okay, so now that we have to redo the ending because the microphone battery quit.
Yep, and didn't pick up anything.
So what did we ask?
Kind of how I felt about it.
Yeah, how versus
Um,
going through the scenario here, looking at it, trying to solve the problem
Mhm.
versus what happened last night.
Okay, I think I feel confident that if he actually was planted in front of the window, which the way my room really is, he wouldn't have really truly had room to run away.
Yeah.
I would have got him.
Yeah.
But I do think that I initially approached it last night pretty okay, but there was obviously some tweaking to do to make it a little bit safer. Luckily the lighting is pretty good in my room, but I will say that the end the end of the barrel where the sight is does make a huge difference once it's dark in there. So normally, like I said, that's my carry, but right now it doesn't really matter which one I've been sleeping beside because I don't even have the lights on or on for the Taurus yet, and I don't have like night sights. So
So
I think I
dark
want to get
made
them
it-
soon. Yeah, the dark made it harder to see for
Yeah.
sure.
And then when the guy starts moving,
And then when he starts moving, it's worse because it's just like a shadow in the dark.
yeah.
Yeah. So that made it a lot harder actually. And then I tried to do your method and go ahead of him, and like you said, that takes a lot of practice. Yeah, no kidding, because
You gotta wait
that
till he
last
starts
time-
moving,
yeah.
right?
And yeah, I missed him. So it's definitely important that you hit your target that first shot. Because obviously after the first shot's when they're gonna
Yeah.
start taking off, and that's when it's
Right.
gonna get 10 times harder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which plays into, is he retreating or is he coming toward you? Which way is he going?
Right.
You don't know that, so.
Right.
But, you know, we play it out, we can, kind of take it, learn from it,
Mhm.
get better at it, and then hopefully nobody else decides to come in here.
I hope not. Hopefully it wasn't so high he forgot he already came and doesn't get high again tonight and decided to come by.
I know, right? So,
So,
yeah.
he's lucky that my dog is too old now because she would have been there before he even opened the window, I think, if it was 4 years ago, you know?
Yeah, which kind of really is what you need, but
Yeah. So, ADT, get a dog, practice shooting, and have
Yeah.
night sights.
there you go, right?
That's it.
So that's the lessons from this week, huh?
Exactly. If your dog's getting older, replace it with a better dog. The other dog she's being replaced with is
You get the dog
not
hearing
exactly.
aids.
Huh?
You get the dog hearing aids.
She needs them.
Put your
That
buffs
that and
on.
the hips are going. That other half a German Shepherd, she would have been, popping off. She would have got there.
Get there eventually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool. All right, guys.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.